I just stumbled on a Twitter space where some alleged, in quotes, Igbos were denigrating and abusing the Oba of Benin, calling him all sort of names. I know you listened to that video.
Benin, which year Oba?
Benin na two
streets.
Oba no
be human being, no get brick.
Community.
If he see Toto in brick, no go stand up.
He don't cast.
In brick, no go stand up. If he see Toto, na God na him be. If he create human being, wetin him be? He can't be like say maybe he get wetin them be. They don't know say they are all bad, they useless. Imagine who them be. That they are all bad. Wetin if he do for them? Person wey say if problem starting go wrong.
Oba top
we castigate them, castigate their prick, castigate their anus, castigate every part of their body. You people should make sure whatever you're saying, get them very, very well. We want this thing to turn into another thing.
And you see what happened there. And when you look closely, there are some things you identify from what is being said about the Oba of Benin. And when you, I saw that some handles on Twitter were the ones propagating that information. They're the ones pushing that information on Twitter. Look at these handles, and when you look at these handles, tell me what you see. Tell me what you see. Since the election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we have seen that there are so many things that have happened between the Yoruba and the Igbo. I know it's being pushed by some officials of the government, some unscrupulous elements, some people that are bigots, whether it's on the Igbo side or the Yoruba side. I know this is an agenda. That agenda will be exposed very soon. So my take on this is that, okay, let's read some of the reactions to that video. That video is disgusting, and I condemn it in every of its entirety. I condemn what is being said. I, as an Igbo person, somebody who, yes, I'm an Igbo person, I disassociate myself from what is being said about the Oba of Benin. If it's truly done by Igbos, and if it's truly done by Igbos, that means these guys, they are scrupulous elements. Akin Destiny reacted to that video. Akin Destiny is a Yoruba name. Says, I am from Osun State, born in Edo State, and grew up in Lagos State. One thing I can say about Igbo people in Edo State is they are very nice and caring people. Stop trying to create wars between the Igbos and Edo people. You are just being naive on what you are doing. When you look at this tweet, what is he trying to say? He says he's a Yoruba person from Osun State, born in Edo State, grew up in Lagos State. He made a comment about Igbo people. He now said some particular person should stop creating war between the Igbo and Edo. That is what I want to point out. This is not my reaction to, this is not my sentiment towards that video. When you look at that video and look at the comment section, you can see reactions. So I had to pick this one out, and a Yoruba person saying this, so that you will not say because he is Igbo and whatever. So there's another person reacting, Nana Damian Anazoto. He says, unfortunately, Edolites are far educated, informed, enlightened, exposed, and well-traveled. They know and understand the game that some people are playing. So it is established that this is a game that is being played. You can, as a politician, you can, as a person, yes, bribe people into doing all sort of things. If they could get somebody's brother to kill him, somebody's brother, if he could be paid money to kill his own brother, there's nothing that cannot be done. There are some useless Igbo people that can be used to play this kind of evil game, cause war between Igbos and Edo State, Edolites. You can see they spoke Igbo in that video, and I got confused at first when I listened to that video, but I had to understand that propaganda is real. Agenda is real in our today Nigeria. You can see the agenda that is being put every day against the Igbo people from a certain Yoruba Ronu conservative whatever that is bent on destroying the image of the Igbo people. We know that Igbos are not perfect. There are people that are useless. There are people that are useful. But don't bring an agenda to bring all the Igbo people together and start calling them whatever you want to call them. So this agenda of trying to bring a war between the Edo and Igbo have failed. It has failed. I don't really want to mention Yoruba. I will mention some unscrupulous elements, Yoruba Ronu and Yoruba Conservative. They are the ones that I have identified. Those that are propagating all this rubbish. When you go to handles that have been pushing this agenda, pushing this sentiment, they are mostly from the southwest. What will they gain? So you might be deceived that some people spoke Igbo in that video. Like I said, you can contract a brother to a person to kill that person. Yes, there's nothing money cannot do. This is not the voice of well-meaning Igbos. This is a ploy to cause war between between Igbo and Edo. So now, at some point, it will get to a place whereby your propaganda, you Yoruba Runu and Yoruba Conservative, whatever they call you, your political propaganda against Igbo will be diffused. I've lived long enough in Lagos State. I went to School of Journalism. I've gotten involved in politics to understand and spot a propaganda when I see one. Yes, when I see a propaganda, I can spot. When you look at that handle, the handle is not representative of what is being said there. And the people that are speaking, trace them, you can find out that most of them are non-existent. Now, what led to the abuse of the Oba of Benin? How did it come about? What happened? What transpired? In the recent time that we are looking at what is happening in Nigeria, what has the Oba of Benin done to the Igbos that will warrant such abuse? That's the question you ask. From nowhere, people just come on Twitter space and start abusing the Oba of Benin. What led to it? Has there been any altercation between the Edos and the Igbos? Has there been any altercation? That's the question we ask. To know that these guys are evil, they are wanting to push every evil thing against the Igbos to make sure that Nigerians go against the Southeasterners. But it is not going to work. I'm learning from these people every day. When I look at their handles and look at how they push their agenda, how they push their propaganda, I'm learning. I study journalism, so propaganda is part of what you learn in school. Agenda. You know, it is the media that pushes the agenda, that tells you what to do or what to think or what to read. It's the media. So they create an agenda. They form an agenda for you to hop on, to feed on. So that is where I'm understanding this from. They are creating different agenda to make Nigerians hate the Igbos. But it is not supposed to be so. The Yorubas are speaking up. Some well-meaning Yorubas, like this guy, well-meaning Yorubas are speaking up. Now look at this other post from Akinleye. Under the same post, look at what he said. To show you that this is a plan, a plot by some elements to create division, war, strife between the Edo and Igbo. He says, all these ones know mean Benin miscreants are bannermen to IPOB against Yoruba. One already said Benin man no fit fight Igbos. So Benin can't do anything as the people in the video have said. What will warrant this reaction? So they already know that the Benin and the Igbos are together, especially with this Biafra thing. And they are frustrated. They are finding the way to put enmity between the Igbo and the Benin man. The elections have warranted most of these things. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu lost in the east, lost in the south. So, however, the political game is that make sure that these people hate the Igbos so that the south can be penetrated by the APC. No matter how, even with the APC governors in the southeast, APC did not get 5% vote. So they are regretting, or they feel defeated. They are having this animosity that the Igbos will not support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the next election. So trying to create strife left or right and center would be the agenda. That is my own speculation. I'm not telling you to take it. That is what I see from all this move by all these Yoruba handles on Twitter, on social media, to make sure that Nigerians hate the Igbos. Look at the propaganda. Let me fish out like 2 or 3 propaganda that these Yoruba Ronus, I'm not calling them Yoruba Ronus and Yoruba conservatives have put out there against the Igbos. Number 1, the protest that's been organized by mostly Omoyele Sowore, a Yoruba man, and some elements in the north, that has been majorly organized. This protest, end bad governance protest, being organized by Yoruba and Hausa. These Yoruba Ronu conservatives said Igbos were the ones. They mentioned Obedient, they mentioned P2B, they mentioned IPB. They were the ones behind the protest. They took that propaganda, they pushed the narrative, continue pushing the narrative until the Igbos now came out. They came out and said that we are not going to be part of this protest. Even at that, they refused and said the Igbos were playing game, that they are the ones sponsoring the protest. Despite the fact that the people that are championing this protest came out openly to say that we are the ones, we are pushing for end bad governance. They know their names, they know who they are, yet they said it is the Igbos. After that one, the Igbos did not join the protest. They brought another narrative, and that narrative is that the Igbos deceived the Hausas, the Northerners, into protesting to destroy their region. That is the narrative. The Igbos deceived the Northerners into destroying their region. We are looking at these narratives from the angle of hatred on the Igbos. Now, let's talk about the Oba of Benin. When the Oba of Benin came to Lagos and said Lagos is a no man's land, who were the people that insulted the Oba of Benin? Who? We knew how some notable persons came out and abused the Oba of Benin. People that spoke to me on the streets, people that I knew face to face, they told me that if the Oba of Benin does anyhow, that area boys will beat him up. Nobody pushed an agenda or narrative, a propaganda about that. Nobody did anything. But all of a sudden, nothing really happened. The Oba of Benin have not said anything. Some people just resurrected from one place, now started a space and started abusing the Oba of Benin with the intention that Edo people are not wise people. Do you think that they are not wise, or do you think that they are fools not to understand the games that these people have been playing? Please, if you are Yoruba, Rono, and conservative, and you are evil, and you have hatred for Igbos or other tribes, your format don't cast. Try other means of, you understand? This format is no more relevant. Use other formats. It's no more relevant. Use other formats. So, as we speak, you see, it's better that Nigerians now understand the difference between a political game being played by politicians and how Nigerians will understand who they are in Nigeria. All these narratives are being pushed by politicians. Over there, they don't push the narrative. It brings them together. Of course, it brings them together. They only push tribalism and bigotry, nepotism amongst the masses so that we can get divided and they will rule over us. And they use some of these handles to do same. That is why these people, they can enact a law to stop you from protesting, stop you from criticizing government to their own advantage. All of them, nobody. The Igbo side did not speak. The Yoruba side did not speak against it. The Hausa side did not speak against it because they are elites. It doesn't affect them. It's going to affect you because you are not in power. You are not in the position of authority. So you should not speak against us. If you speak against us, if you criticize us, even though when we are doing wrong, you will go to jail or you pay a fine of 5 million or 10 million as per what the bill is proposing. Now, the second thing is that now that the North defied their whoever, traditional rulers, their religious rulers, because usually it is the religious rulers, traditional rulers in the North that dictate what the people do. Now, the former don't cast. Upon all the things the traditional rulers said and the religious rulers said, they did not listen to them. They had to come out and protest against the will of their traditional and religious institutions in the north. First time in history, they defied all the weapons used by the federal government against them, and they came out to protest. This policy proposed by the House of Rep, whoever leader, is being targeted at taming Nigerians from standing up to their right. That is what they are doing to us. But by God 3, we are exposing the propaganda of some of these Southwesterners and every other person. Their format don't cast, their update don't cast. So they are looking for ways to bring us down. They know that the Igbos are people that are viable, that if they get into any struggle, it's going to have enough push. If Igbos were part of the protests to a reasonable level, there will be, I'm not saying that, yes, the Yorubas are the ones that are masters of protest, the North also. But if there was like a unified protest, Igbo outside Yoruba, it would have made sense, big sense. But you see, the politicians are looking for ways to divide us. So now this particular politics that is being played in the Southwest is to make sure that they bring down the Igbos. And it's not going to be possible. It is not possible. When you start using propaganda, and these Igbo people are watching you using your propaganda, when they start taking up what you do, when they start doing the same thing that you do, they might do it better than you. So it is time to repent from all these shenanigans. That video there, you can identify some Igbo speaking whatever voices there. Like I said, it is not impossible that some Igbos did that. It is not impossible. Stupid. During the war, there were saboteurs. There were Igbos that are paid to, yes, sabotage the Biafra struggle. Igbos were paid to sabotage. So for the fact they are Igbos does not mean that they might not be paid or used to push this agenda. Because I don't see any Igbo in his right thinking senses, when there's no provocation whatsoever, to do such a video. And if, okay, let's say Igbos did it. I brought this example. When the Oba of Benin came to Lagos and said Lagos is no man's land, what did the so-called Yorubas said? So-called Yoruba, Ronu, and whatever conservative. What did they say about the Oba of Benin? All the curses that was being rained on the Oba of Benin by the same Yoruba handle. So it is inconsequential. Nigerians need to be allowed more than ever. Nigerians, the South, the Southeast, need to be allowed more than ever. This ploy to make sure that we remain divided should not win. They should not win. We need to be together, because the next elections is coming. Whatever regionalism is coming, then the Edo people know better who they need to align with. Yes. The Yoruba should, the well-meaning of Moluabi Yoruba should speak up so that these people will not destroy their image. Because when it happens now, they will not want to know whether there are some good Yorubas or whoever. They will not want to know. They will not classify everybody. So now it is good. It's a high time for you to start speaking. When they put one propaganda, say something to counter it. That's how to win propaganda. You don't keep quiet. When they say one thing, use another thing to counter it. Because these people are heartless, selfish, senseless. These people, they are not human beings. They have sold their soul to evil. They can do anything just to destroy a creation that God has made. Well, I believe that the Edo people will understand the kind of castigation that Igbos have been going through all day long. Look at the kind of things that Igbo are going through, and we are stronger by the day. I love Yoruba people, I love Hausa people, I love whoever that God has created. But we hate bigotry and we hate wickedness.